Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Offline? No, I'm not. There we go. And I better make sure. Yep, F9HQ, and you're alive. Go for it, Al. You're as live as can be.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. We have a great show for you today. Is being a builder. Lance, are you a cars salesman?
Used. Don't you just...
That's too high.
Differentiation. Huge.
Too high for you.
Huge.
Yep. We are going to find out if builders are like used car salesmen. We got some economic news for you. But before we get into all that, we are going to pay the bills. And hopefully you'll help us. Because what we sell helps you. RevitRocketship.com takes you to the moon with your Revit skills and your firm. Go to RevitRocketship.com. Figure out how to model like it gets built so that you get more responsibility and thus more reward. RevitRocketship.com to the moon. That's what they say.
They do. This episode is also brought to you by ArcCAD.com. It is your one-stop shop for specifications, CAD details, BIM content, and so much more. Whether you're an architect, engineer, contractor, ArcCAD has the tools you need to streamline your projects and stay ahead of the curve. Best of all, it's completely free to use. Start your next product search on ArcCAD. That's ARCAT.com. Al, you've got some news. We're talking about it.
Before we do that, I should write cringy ad copy for our own Revit Rocket Ship and then act like I'm being forced to read it from myself who made it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you saw this article. I saw this article too, and I was like, whoa. I even cited it to one of the engineers, and I was like, hey, you want to hear about the economy?
Yeah.
This is where it's at.
So the title of the segment
Be thankful.
is Price Cuts or Collapse. And I have two articles to go through.
Okay.
That's a good, both of these are two.
It's not this one? Builder sentiment?
No. This is the first article.
Okay.
Builder sentiment at third lowest reading since 2012. Builder confidence in the market for newly built single-family homes was 32 in June, down 2 points from May. According to the National Association of Home Builders and Wells Fargo Housing Index released today, the index has only posted a lower reading twice since 2012. In December 2022 and in April 2020 at the start of the pandemic. Buyers are increasingly moving to the sideline due to elevated mortgage rates and tariffs and economic uncertainty. To help address affordability concerns and bring hesitant buyers off the fence, a growing number of builders are moving to cut prices. Indeed, the latest survey also revealed that 37% of builders reported cutting prices in June, the highest percentage since the National Association of Home Builders began tracking this figure on a monthly basis in 2022. This compares with 34% of builders who reported cutting prices in May and 2029 in April. To continue, the chief economist Robert Dietz says rising inventory levels and prospective home buyers who are on hold waiting for affordable conditions to improve are resulting in weakening price growth in most markets and generating price declines for resales in a number of growing markets.
What's hilarious is like, wow. I could see somebody else writing a counter article to this but it'll be opinion, and it'll be buyers will soon jump off the fence, and because they're tired of waiting. You know, like it'll be like they'll try to explain the future psychology of the buyers.
Well,
which is it's not bad. I get it, but like, man, I could just totally see that happening.
Yep. So know what the best of this, and once you get this pattern in your mind, and maybe most of you do, you'll never forget it. A report will come out. 37% of people highly confident that this new consumer product or this new political person is awesome and is the best thing ever. That means 63%
Yeah.
do not think that.
Do not think that.
Like, what are we
I
talking
know.
about?
I saw you're fluffing it up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's something I want to just offer the audiences. I got some unsolicited advice from a client, but she's great. She's like very straightforward like me, and I think probably maybe gets confused with being a jerk, and she's not. She's just trying to be helpful, and I trust this woman's opinion, honestly. So we just completed her project. She left us a great review, and she goes, you guys might want to think about having a section on your website that's just for small projects like ours, because I almost didn't contact you guys because you guys seem too big. And where I'm going with this, guys and gals and everybody else, is we're in that economy. We're in that economy like maybe you're not overlooking that little addition anymore to design or build. Maybe you're not overlooking that kitchen remodel to design or build. And you should refocus your part of your website on capturing that audience. And maybe we're heading back towards a volume-based practice for all you small firm architects. Big guys, what you do your thing. But I thought that was brilliant.
I'm sending you in an email the title that I think should pop up. Not maybe the SEO title, but literally like once you go to that page, it should say small projects are a big deal to us.
I love that. And my new nickname that I'm giving myself is Lance Open to Ideas Psycho.
Lance
Open-minded.
Yeah.
Psycho.
I like that.
Yeah. What do we got next, Al?
Going to the next NAHB, permit activity declines for fourth consecutive month. So over the first 4 months of 2025, the total number of single-family permits year-to-date nationwide reached 320,000, a decline of 4.7% over April 2024. For multifamilies, total number reached 154,000, a 1.5 below the April of 2024. So if you scroll down, you'll see largest single-family markets by permit, and Houston -8, Dallas -8, Phoenix -14, Atlanta -14, blah 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 blah. Orlando 25%.
Yeah,
25%. Now, if you go to multifamily, New York -50, Dallas -6, Houston 55, Orlando 126. Miami -7, Atlanta -25.
Middle of the country seems
Phoenix,
to be doing okay. What is going on in Las Vegas?
301%. But what is it? They don't even have it in the single family.
A lot of multifamily going up.
Ion housing. So pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy, yeah. I'll tell you what else is crazy. I had a very interesting meeting with a former client, now a repeat client, and in residential that's hard to do. You might do it once or twice. You might do it once in a lifetime, honestly, because folks build their house, doing a brand new house. They're going to live there for 25, 30 years. Like, they might have done it at their 30, and then they're at the end of their life by the time they're done with the house, right?
Yep.
And there's a lot of architects you'll notice, or builders, architects, I guess, that like, a famous architect did a certain house. Then another architect, just happened in Colorado, Studio B did this in Boulder. There's a very famous architect, and then they redid the house. It's like, well, that architect's dead.
Yep.
So we have the privilege and the honor of being able to now work with this client again. I'm very excited about it. It's one of our best houses. And when I was out there, we're pretty good friends now. We're following you should get the three Fs, or the three things you should be trying to get out of a project, right? A friend, a fee, and a photo. And we got all of those things. So when I met him on site again, it was probably the third or fourth time I'd been since it's been built. Really an ethereal space, just like a beautiful house. Super modern, all that good stuff. And towards the end of the conversation, after we went through, like, what do they want to do, or where should we do it, and how should we do it, and all that, I had to mention the builder. And it got a little contentious with the builder, as far as I understand, at the end. And it wasn't really the builder's fault. It was there were some window issues and all of that. And on top of that, like, the last part of a project, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's architecture, but especially building, that last 5% is so hard to do. It's hard for many, many reasons. It's like you're constantly chasing punchless details, and it seems like you're never going to end. You're tired of the job site. The owners are tired of, they just want to move into the house. Everybody's exhausted. There's been a lot of money spent. Tensions are high. If one thing goes wrong, it seems like everything's going wrong at the end. You're sometimes like deconstructing at this point too, where you're like, oh, well, drywall's up, paint's up, and like, why are we tearing apart the drywall? I'm like, well, it wasn't blocking in the wall. Sorry, we missed it. Now we got to repair it. I realize how what that does to people emotionally, seeing their house ripped apart again, you know, or their project. You're going backwards, right? So it's hard. And I asked this client, I go, well, you obviously called me back. We're still good. He goes, oh, of course, you know. Yeah. And I go, what about the builder? And he goes, and I go, I would love it if he could build this too, because he built the house. He knows the site.
Yeah.
Can
we like this builder? Great guy.
No, love this guy.
Yeah.
Can we form the dream team? He goes, oh yeah, everything's fine. I go, oh, okay. Are you sure? He goes, yeah. He goes, after I had 5, 6, 7 years pulled away from the process.
Yep.
He goes, no offense, I know you're a builder too. So that's why I'm not trying to offend you.
Yep.
But I tell the truth, and I go, great. And he goes, 2 things. Number 1, your industry's fucked up. I go, it is. It's hard. It's like, we are banging sticks together to make buildings. We are doing it all by hand. We're creating something out of thin air. It's one of the last things in America that's made by hand. We're fighting the weather. We're fighting gravity. We're fighting supply chain issues. We're fighting materials that don't want to bend or curve in certain ways that we're doing. We're fighting injuries. We bleed for buildings. We risk our lives for buildings. It's very hard. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just trying to paint the picture for everybody one more time about how difficult it is. But like with great difficulty becomes great reward, right? Great risk comes great reward. So that's number 1. And number 2, then he goes, I just realized that you guys are like used car salesmen. And I laughed so hard. I was like, that is a really good way of putting it. He goes, it's not like you guys are lying, but you are having to put lipstick on the pig that is the process.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, that is one of the most brilliant things I have heard in terms of trying to make an analogy to how it all works and everything. Because here's what you can't do. If you're going to go into building, if you're going to try to make that transition from architect to builder, or let's say you're somebody else who's even listening and they want to become a builder, is once you start building, you're going to realize the even deeper layers to the issues, right? Where when I built my house, right? And I've heard this about other houses that other builders that I know have built is like, you will find the piss bottles. You will find defecation on the site. You will find that people break things and don't tell you about it.
Yep.
You will have surprise plumbing leaks. You will have acts of nature.
You'll find things in the ground.
You will find things continuously in the ground.
Yes.
On sites, we just dug up. We were putting in a septic on a 35-acre piece of land, a house that we're building right now. I was like, there's no way. This should go quickly.
It's such a pristine nowhereville.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing there.
Huge pile of garbage. 40, 50 years old garbage. Like, okay. All right. Or you dig and you find the wrong earth. You know? Then this other house, it was like, well, there's 3 areas we cannot drill down in the way we were prescribed. Now we have to do these micro piles, and they're expensive, and I'm sorry, like, we don't have a choice. Or you've drilled down and find water. It doesn't matter if it's a new build, it doesn't matter if it's a remodel. like something is going to happen. Oh, one of the restaurants we're building, plumber accidentally hit just the other day. We're in rough, so it doesn't matter. Accidentally hit a sprinkler line. What do you think happened? Not good. Water. Thank God they scrambled, found the valve. It was not a big deal.
Yeah.
There's no damage because it's just all concrete and like earth. Whatever. So you're having to go in. That's why this is a used car salesman sort of analogy. Is like you're having to go in with the best of intentions, the biggest, optimism, and be excited about the project, even though like all of those things that you have experienced on other building projects or that you've heard of listening on this show. It's like it's gonna go great until it doesn't.
And I just had a sales meeting to turn one of our clients into a construction project yesterday. And I handle it. There's always a segment in sort of this pitch. And I'll paraphrase. But what I said to them is, if you do enough projects, I can't list everything that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'll seem like a crazy person.
Yeah.
I'll seem like an absolute crazy person. Because, like, you can't explain to them, some clients don't want you to have, like, a storage bin on site. Like, some clients, we could go. So I said, I'll just give you a few, and I'll let you know that how we handle this is we always carry contingency. And that's what this is for. And it's the, we had the buried cars up north.
Buried cars on us.
Right. Even I talked about the piss. Like we have porta potties and all that. I swear someone pissed off this building.
Well, exactly. So our own design, build, develop project, like.
Do you remember that?
I caught a painter peeing off the building. And then I reprimanded the whole company, And it was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is madness. Homeless people will go into your job sites. I had to be ready with my pistol just in case and go clear the building one day. I didn't pull it, but
Well, there was also
as a permit holder, like.
Yeah, there was a crazy crackhead next to one of the sites yelling at people too.
Yep, scaring off all the people. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you have to compartmentalize that, and you have to let them know. I think like there is a wide variety of things, and just be aware of that. And we can't tell you all of them because we don't need to be here for 2 hours, and only 1 or 2 will probably happen. Who knows? But
I like that you said it that way. Only 1 or 2 will happen. Yeah. Like, and so that's. Imagine if you did. Not only would you be perceived as a crazy person.
Yeah.
If you said, "Here's everything that can go wrong," but you then would they build? Like, I am convinced.
Yeah.
It would scare people away from building entirely.
Yeah. Like, one door is 8 foot tall. That doesn't come for 3 months, and it's your master bedroom door. And then we got a CO, and then you just lived with a curtain. It just didn't come. Just wouldn't come. Yep. No matter what we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And then there's just details that like kind of everybody misses. Doesn't matter if the owners looked at it, the plumbers looked at it, Lances looked at it, engineers looked at it, architects looked at it, building inspectors looked at it, and you're like, holy cow, how do we miss it? Here's a really good example. Because like you could say, well, Lance, you're just a bad contractor. The owner's a bad owner. Plumber's a bad plumber. I'm like, okay, let's talk. Everybody likes to harp on the city. You know what they missed in this building we're sitting in right now? Fire alarms.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time we were building this, I'm like, so I know we're doing sprinklers, and I've been working really hard on that. How does the alarm system work? And then finally we get to rough inspection, and the final rough inspection, and they go, where's your wires for fire alarms? And I go, well, that's what I was wondering too. And they go, oh, yeah, the plans examiner should have caught that.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't, though. So nobody is infallible but Jesus Christ, right? And I am not Jesus Christ. And if people, maybe that's where it's like, okay, you are sort of this used car salesman, but like, how do you step out of that? And I think Alex just displayed it exactly as you go. You just mentioned like, hey, and let's just get into a mindset, owner, of I am a happy warrior for you. My guys and gals who are working for me are happy warriors for you.
Yep.
And there are unknown battles that we are going to have to fight.
Yep.
in this.
And sorry, one more. I have to tell you because you don't know about this one. It's not even that big of a deal, but it's just one of these things. I was just at a house, once in a lifetime house, amazing house, steel structure, should be perfect, all this other stuff. All the flashing that came with the windows, and the house is majority windows, does not work. It was all custom, all just custom measure in place, flashing, like every single piece of it. And when I was there, I was like, yeah, I can see that now. All that other stuff, nope. Just that.
Which is because like then you go, well, I'm just pretending I'm like an audience member listening right now or somebody, and they're like, well, that's why you got to use European windows. What? Well, maybe they are. That's why you got to use. Why are you hiring cheap subs?
Steel frame. Nope. All heavy gauge
and
not heavy gauge. Red iron steel.
Why aren't you using? Why are you hiring the cheapest subs? Like, hey, I'm not actually. I do medium. I do medium, high. Well, why not the most expensive? Well, if you remember, like you didn't like the budget, so we had to not use the premium. And here's the other thing. I'm not convinced the premium. Nobody's infallible. Like, oh my God, there's this idea that the more money you charge, the better you do is not true. It's not true. I think it's a medium to medium high game always with that. Keeps people honest in both directions.
Well, here's an analogy I think people will get. You get a Porsche or whatever high car, right? It is cool.
Ferraris actually suck. Did you know this?
Well, what I'm going with is like, why is it at the shop all the time?
Bingo.
Why is it at the shop all the time? I paid $250,000 and my $40,000 Toyota is not at the shop.
Yeah.
But this car is.
Yeah. So Chevy Suburban, Lance's 2015 Chevy Suburban. Guess how many miles was last weekend? 250,000.
1 million. Oh.
250,000. That sucker's still going. So, I think that's all we got. Short and sweet. Let's wish Al a little happy short vacation.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm going on a little bit tiny one too up in Granby. We're gonna go catch some giant fish, hopefully. If you like this episode, you're listening on iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching on the YouTube, subscribe. We'll see you next week.